Denver City Council is considering increasing the cap on the amount of money that it can spend on security services.
The increase could amount to millions as the city continues to grapple with the immigration crisis and homelessness. Security concerns have been high since March when a woman was shot in the neck at the city-run homeless shelter on Quebec Street. 2 people were arrested.
2 weeks before that shooting, there was a double murder at the shelter. No arrests were made, but the city later added more guards and metal detectors in response. Denver 7's Danielle Kreuter is breaking down the new proposal and why officials say this isn't a blank check.
As the year began, the city of Denver was focused on housing thousands, from immigrants to the homeless.
We had near 5,000 people in shelter. We had 10 facilities going at a time. You cannot go without security, period. Whether you have 500 people in shelter or 5 people in shelter, you need security.
A point punctuated when 2 people were killed at this homeless shelter off Quebec. The city increased security there in March.
It was pretty bad, but right now it's different.
Alejandro has been living at the shelter for months. He says the security has made a noticeable difference.
It's pretty good, yeah.
You feel safe?
Yeah.
City staff says the immigrant and homeless response have been the 2 biggest strains on the city's security budget. Now they're asking council to increase the max spending for 2 security contracts from $400,000 to $3,400,000. That's a more than 800% increase.
It's as needed. So we are not spending it today. We may not necessarily spend it at all. The hope is always that we don't spend it. It is just approval to spend up to that amount.
An estimate on current security spending was highlighted Tuesday.
All in Mile High sites, we are projecting about a $3.2 million spend through the end of the year for those sites to provide 24/7 security. The other driver is the newcomer sites. We're, roughly in the $2 million-ish range right now.
The city says the new security contracts are to prepare for the unknown, while the effort to get people out of shelters and into permanent housing continues.
Once you get people into apartments, you don't need security there. Once you get people into housing, you don't need security there. That's what we're aiming for.
I'm Danielle Kreuter, Denver 7.
A date for City Council to consider the new proposed contracts has not been set just yet. We'll keep you updated.
Denver is moving forward with a $4 million property purchase that the city is already using to shelter new immigrant families. City Council signed off on the agreement to buy the building and vacant lot in the 300 block of Zunai Street in Athmar Park. That purchase is expected to be finalized next month. Coming up, 2 people are being treated after rabies is detected in 2 Colorado counties. The latest in how to keep you and your pets protected.
And later, a family out thousands of dollars after their boat dealer never delivers on their deposit.
It was going to be a great adventure for my family.
Denver 7 Investigates is digging into bad business practices, leaving customers high and dry.
Right now, my focus is this and trying to get my money back.
We have a warning from health officials to remain cautious around wildlife. The first 2 cases of rabies this year are being reported in Colorado after 2 bats tested positive. The first in Arapahoe County. A bat was found near Quincy and Santa Fe and Inglewood. 2 people were exposed and have begun treatment. The second was in El Paso County. The bat was found last Tuesday at Grant Elementary School in Colorado Springs. No exposures were found. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment data shows last year 55 cases of rabies were reported. 47 of those involved bats.
Digging deeper, rabies is a viral disease that can be deadly if people don't receive medical care before symptoms appear. The CDC reports 90% of U.S. cases occur in wildlife. While human deaths from rabies are rare, at least 7 out of 10 Americans who die were infected by bats. The good news, it is preventable. State health officials advise not touching wild or stray animals because rabid animals don't always appear vicious. Make sure your pets' vaccinations are up to date and keep them indoors or leashed outside. Avoid all contact with bats, especially on the ground. And lastly, call your doctor right away if an animal bites you. If you or your pet is bitten, make sure to contact your local health department to report the incident.